Well, hello, folks. It's Mike here. I just want to welcome you back to Mr. Cast Iron. And we've got a question. Matter of fact, we've got about 3 questions today that we're going to address. We recently had answered a couple questions about why your cast iron skillet is sticky. And so we mentioned that, but I've got a couple questions here from a few viewers that I would like to address. I'll be saying says, thank you for the preventative advice, but since some of us have already made the mistake of baking on too much oil in the seasoning process, how do we remedy this? We can apply the prevention next round, but for now we need advice to correct the situation as it stands. And Naughty or Nice says, good advice, but what do you do when you have the sticky mess? Completely restrip it and start from scratch? If so, what is the best way to strip it? And Border 164 says, if it's splotchy or speckled and I put it in the oven to bake for well over an hour, will the heat itself make the cooked oil balance itself out at all, or is this a waste of time? I have this issue as well. So really, these are 2 different questions, 2 different videos that I'm going to address here. I'd be saying, listen, hey, this is great advice of what we've done, but now that we've already done this, how do we remedy this? And it's very simple, really. It's more simple than you would think. And, we've made a couple videos that I'll leave down in the description there that you can check out also. But my remedy for this is so simple. You don't have to strip it as Naughty or Nice is asking. You don't have to strip it completely down and start over with the seasoning process again. But what you will have to do is you're going to have to clean the sticky mess off. And how you do that is basically take some good hot water. You could even take soapy water like Dawn dishwashing soap. And I know a lot of people, will say, oh, don't ever use soap on your cast iron. But a mild detergent is not going to hurt your cast iron as long as you're not letting it soak overnight for hours and hours and hours that the soap, actually absorbs into the cast iron. But if you're just washing and cleaning it up, take and clean it up real well. And then take some good coarse sea salt, Himalayan salt or kosher salt, something like that that's a little more, coarser ground than table salt. I mean, you can actually use table salt as well, but, the coarser salt actually gives you, a coarseness or, for the lack of better words, that's just what it is. It will take and actually help to remove the seasoning down to, a smooth surface on your cast iron skillet. Once you get it completely rubbed down with salt and water, take and rinse it out real good, rinse the salt out, and then you can go back in the oven without adding any more oil and just take and bake it upside down for an hour and let it heat up. And the question about the splotchy or speckled cast iron, this will help to solve that issue as well. You can take and just take your salt, wipe it down, flip it upside down, put it in the oven. Do not add any excess oil or extra oil, because that's the problem now, is excess oil. And that's what causes a sticky mess. So just go ahead, get it good and cleaned off and rinsed out, put it in the oven, bake it for 1 hour upside down at 450 degrees, somewhere in that range. Anywhere from 350 to 500 degrees is great for cast iron. And then bake it, like I said, for 1 hour upside down. Make sure you put a baking pan or a piece of aluminum foil or something like that underneath the bottom to catch any excess oil, if there happens to be any that drips off of it while it's in the baking process. And then once it has baked for 1 hour, be sure and do this. Do not pull it out immediately. Just turn your oven off and let it cool down naturally. I like to do this overnight. I will take and if I'm seasoning a piece or if I'm trying to correct a piece like this, I will put it in the oven, bake it for 1 hour, then I will shut it off and let it sit in there overnight, and then come back in the morning and pull it out, and it's completely cool to the touch. And what that does when you do that is basically that makes the oil adhere, or polymerize, we call it, to the actual cast iron, so you won't have a sticky mess. Typically the sticky mess is sometimes caused by adding too much oil, and we know that for sure, but sometimes it's adding too many layers layers before the cast iron actually has had a chance to bake and polymerize. You pull a piece of cast iron out after the first round of seasoning, and you want to add another coat because you think, the more oil, the more better. Well, it causes this problem. And so, not all is lost. It's easy. I be saying it's easy to fix this situation, and naughty or nice, you don't have to strip it completely down, but you will have to take some good coarse sea salt or something like that and get that out. And so anyway, we appreciate these questions. If anyone has any other questions, or if you have any comments about how you address this issue, we would love to see those in the comment section. And hey, we appreciate it. We'll be coming back to you again soon. Y'all have a great day. Now it's Mike over here at Mr. Cast Iron. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.